Together unscripted, baby, that's our way. In a life that's messy, we love and laugh each day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Together Unscripted, Love, Laughs, and Leftovers. I'm Jen, and this is my crazy husband, Danny.
Hey, how are you?
This week's episode, we wanted to talk about empty nesting. Although somebody recently referred to it as open nesting, which I did kind of like, because the word empty just does seem empty, even though the kids are out of the house. So wanted to just kind of share, we're, I would say, still fairly new empty nesters. Mm-hmm. Our youngest is a sophomore, but
right.
Yeah, it's kind of still getting used to this empty nesting, open nesting stage.
Still really weird.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is the hardest part about becoming an empty nester?
Hardest part? Well, I mean, I don't think it was that hard for us to get used to it because, we're a split family, so the kids had other places to be, and we had them about half the time. So we had practice.
We did have some practice.
We had some practice of empty nesting, so open nesting. And I like the open nesting too. Empty nest means the nest is always going to be empty. Open means it's open if they want to come back.
It's always open.
We told them all the time,
Absolutely.
Like, if you need something, we're here. When we're in our final house, not the apartment, if they need a room, they'll have a room. They'll have a place to stay. They'll have food on the table. So they know that. But the hardest part of becoming an empty nester to me was, it still is, it's not having them in the house. It's just the lack of their presence, because I worry about them all the time, and, not getting an update when something happens, or, finding out 3 days later and they go, "Oh, sorry, I thought I told you." That kills me. It's like, wait, this was a major life event. Holy crap. It's not that it breaks my heart or I'm mad they didn't tell me. It's just, I wish I was there. I wish I had info. I wish I could, give them some kind of guidance, give them some kind of mentorship. Because that was, even now, especially as they're adults, it's different when they're little kids and they do something and you're like, you can't do that, or don't do that again. But when they're adults and they're experiencing something for the first time, like their first real job interview, the first altercation they've ever had with a co-employee, or, major projects in college, or coming up on graduation, that kind of stuff. I would love to just take questions and answer, and this is what I did.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it, or this is what I did and I totally muffed it up. Don't do it that way. Just figure something else out.
This is what didn't work for me, so I would advise not to do it this way.
And I've done that with them with certain things, but it's tough knowing that, we purposely were strict with them and gave them chores and did all these things so that they would
have structure.
They would be productive adults. They would, they wouldn't be whiny. They would have a work ethic and everything else. But it's still tough. And our entire goal was to get them so that they didn't need us. But now here we are, and they're not home, and I kind of wish they needed us.
They don't always need us.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty good sometimes in coming to us for advice. But yeah, like you said, as adults, they're making real life decisions in the moment. So, we kind of hear about it afterwards with a lot of things. And it's like, okay, well, that's what you did, and that, that worked. If that situation came up again, maybe try responding or doing this instead of that, or in addition to. So kind of offering that advice on the
I wish
backside.
The hardest part is when you hear that they had a situation that if they would have asked you, you could have helped them and it could have avoided a problem. Speaking from experience, from like, ooh, I kind of think this isn't going to work out well. Did you think of, but then you hear after and you're like, it's all right, I'll fix it. Well, you're down money, you're down time, you're down this, you're down that. That all could have been avoided. That kills me. Right. That's the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
It's not anything else. I would love for all four of them to still be in the house. Unfortunately, my career took us to a different state. We're still not that far. It's just, they're all doing their own thing. They're thriving. They're kicking butt. We got one about to graduate college, is going to do huge things. We've got one who's already a boat mechanic and loving his life. And we have two more in college who are doing phenomenal. So I'm as proud of them as I can be. The hardest part is that I would love to be able to tell them that on a daily basis. I'd love to be able to feed them on a daily basis. That's as much, and that's what most people are so happy with. That woo, the kids are out. I don't have to do this anymore. I kind of miss it. I enjoy doing that.
You do. Like it's chaos. It is absolute chaos when, especially before, when there was, with all the activities and the sports and this and that. It is pure chaos. But parents, if you're not to this open nest stage yet, believe it or not, you are going to miss the chaos.
Right.
I miss cooking for them. I miss having like those family meals. I mean, even like when we do all get together now, it's most often around a meal. Because that's always where like we just had fun at the dinner table.
Yeah, and our dinner table would go from dinner time to we'd clear the table, the dishes would be done, and we'd still be 2 hours later. We're still sitting there, and then somebody say, "Hey, let's play a game," and we'd be sitting at the table for 3-4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I truly do miss that.
Yeah.
I mean, think of some people when the kids leave the nest, quote unquote, their relationship goes awry. I don't think we've experienced that at all because, like I said, we had them half the time, and the other half we got used to just being us. So we were able to focus on our relationship.
Yes.
So that there's no, the kids are gone now. Like, oh crap, I got to reintroduce myself to you after 25 years. But I don't think that ever happened. But I mean, what do you think is the biggest perk, maybe even unexpected perk, of having the house to ourselves? Hey, relax. No sex on the podcast.
There's no pants rule around the house, really.
Yeah.
Like those doormats, like knock, we're probably
not wearing pants.
But unexpected perk. Oh gosh, the one that comes top of mind as an unexpected perk is just being able to order out if we wanted to order out one night.
And not have to worry about 6 different palettes and everybody else. Yeah.
I will probably say that is an unexpected perk. I mean, we did so much cooking, again, with 6 of us to go out or to even order out. Even pizza, got to cost around $100 just to order pizza on any night.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if we just don't feel like cooking, we can just order, and it's not, I'm not trying to feed 6 or however many friends or whatever.
Yeah, no kidding.
Over.
I mean, I think for me, one of the biggest unexpected perks is only one schedule to worry about. It's our schedule.
Yeah.
When before it was, while I did enjoy doing all this stuff, now it's, if I just don't feel like it, I don't have to trudge through, all right, now I got to go freeze my ass off in a hockey rink, or I got to go back to the school and deal with the 3 teachers for this program that I don't even friggin' like, or I got to do this. Or, oh, great, we got to go to this activity where the kids don't get along with the other kids there. So, like, so to be able to just change on the fly, it to me is the unexpected perk. I just like, if I don't want to get up at a certain time, I don't have to, even though 99% of the time I get up at the exact same time I go to the gym.
Our bodies for the same time.
My eyes pop open at the same time every day. It doesn't matter if the alarm is on or not. But being able to, change of plans. I don't feel like doing it this way. Let's go here first. Let's do that. Let's flip things around. To me, but when the kids had activities, there was no doing that.
No.
It was you were.
No, we had.
I'm not going to say. Yeah, I'm not going to say we were stuck doing it because that's not the word I want to use at all. It's just the schedule was a strict schedule.
It was a schedule, right?
There was no changing it. So now on a Saturday morning, you're like, you know what? Let's go out to breakfast before we go run our errands and before we do this, before we do that. We can. And so that to me was the perk that.
More flexibility.
Very much so. A lot more flexibility. So, and also
that makes sense.
Being able to walk around the house naked. That's fine. Come out of the shower, not have to worry about who's in the hallway. Walk down the hallway.
Or if there's an unexpected friend over.
Yeah, no kidding. Walk down the hallway in her boxers, whatever. Get up at whatever time and not have to worry. If I want to start cooking breakfast early, I don't have to worry that I'm going to wake somebody up.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So to me, that's the unexpected part. Husband and wife time can be any time. You don't have to wait for the kids to be asleep or out of the house. That's fantastic perk right there. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I'm pretty happy with that one. How you doing? So we're good there.
Oh my gosh. No. What it's like you said, we are a blended family, so the kids were with us part of the time, with the other parents, another part of the time. So we did have some of that one-on-one couple time that other couples might not have that perk, or I guess, I don't know. What would you think as a couple though, like as our couple role, do you think anything has changed now that we're like not actively parenting every day? I mean, you still parent,
right?
But
it's not the same way. As far as our roles changed, I mean, I'm still the W-2 guy. You're the working from home.
mm-hmm.
You know, our roles, we didn't really have set roles. The only thing that was a set role was I took care of all the outdoor stuff and anything that needed to be fixed around the house. Cooking we did together, cleaning we did together, everything we did together. Mm-hmm. But when it was, all right, go get the chainsaw, I made sure that you were nowhere near it. I don't think our roles really changed. What changed though is now the roles we don't have to worry about is the extra stuff that comes with having kids that you got to tote around and teach and do this. So as far as our roles as a couple, I don't think they changed at all, quite honestly.
Because no, I don't. I wouldn't say they would have either. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any landscaping to do it. No.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we live in an itty bitty apartment, so it's not like that. Oh, now you're going to come outside and you're going to help me with the leaf blower, which weighed more than you did, so it didn't matter. You're not going to help me with that silly thing, you know. And as far as our roles changing, I don't think they really did at all. I just think each one of us had extra things to do when we had 4 kids in the house, or 2 or 3, or when one was at college and one was here and one was there. That's the only thing that changed. Is there's just less people in the house.
Yeah.
The only 2 people we worry about are us right now. I mean, yes, we worry about our kids, but I don't mean on a day-to-day activity,
absolutely.
fed, all that stuff.
Yep.
You know.
Although I honestly feel like we still have the same amount of dishes.
Yeah, it's incredible. It takes you an hour to cook. It takes me 2 hours to do the dishes. It doesn't make any freaking sense. Like, you use every pot in the damn kitchen. Drive me crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe my ass. I mean, we're in a unique situation because we had the empty nest practice.
Right.
But what advice would you give to couples, blended family or not, but that are struggling to reconnect after their kids leave, or after the kids leave the nest?
I mean, after the kids leave the nest, I think, you really need to make a concerted effort to reconnect with your partner if you have become distant or disconnected. But I think, preemptively going into it, you need to kind of do a checkup on your relationship. Mm-hmm. And if you feel that, you are a bit more distant from your spouse than you were, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you need to have that conversation ahead of time. Like, hey,
way ahead of time.
We're approaching, maybe the youngest is a freshman or a sophomore in high school. You need to have that conversation and, hey, we're kind of coming upon these years. I mean, I feel like when the kids are younger, it seems so distant, but it really does go by in a flash. And I honestly feel like once they hit high school, it was a blink. Even, I mean, with 4 of them in high school, it absolutely flew by.
Yeah, I mean, high school for the 4 kids took 7 years by the time the first one started and the last one graduated. But that 7 years was...
I really do feel like we blinked and it was over.
I feel like their entire childhood we blinked and it was over.
Yeah.
I still remember them as 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now they're 20, 21, 22, and 23.
I know.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And phenomenal, I don't want to say kids, they're phenomenal adults. They're all responsible. They
are.
They're extremely empathetic. They take care of their friends. They're good to each other. That's the part that I'm so proud of, is the 4 of them get along so very well.
They really do.
They're
there for each other.
There's 2 sets of siblings, but you wouldn't know it.
No, you wouldn't know.
People told us as they were growing up that, oh my God, we've known you for 2 years. We didn't know that you were a blended family.
Yeah.
Like, that was the biggest compliment in the world to me. But when it comes to couples trying to reconnect, my advice is don't need to reconnect. Don't.
Right. Well,
your relationship when you met, when you got married, when you had the child was the most important relationship in your life. And then for some reason people say, oh, now I have to cater to my child. No. Your relationship is still important. Your relationship still comes first. When the kids were little, if I was making dinner, I served you first. You served me first. That's the way it works.
No, absolutely.
and I told the kids, and I said it right to them, the most important person to me in this house is my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And I think that's been lost in a couple of generations.
I think it
we
very
see
much
so many people after the kid leaves the house, within a year they're divorced or they're filing because they don't know each other anymore.
No.
They grew apart as the kids were growing up.
And neither made an effort to really come back around. You know, what brought the two of you together to start?
Right.
What things did you have in common? What did you enjoy doing together?
I think the reason that we didn't have that issue is because even when the kids were little or growing up, we made the joke we're still dating. We would go out on dates, and if the kids were home and we were dating, couples. I mean, we had people calling us newlyweds. We'd been married for 10 years just because they saw us.
Some people still call us newlyweds
because they saw us holding hands in the hockey rink when other couples wouldn't even stand next to each other and didn't say two words to each other in the rink. So my advice is don't lose sight of your relationship when a child is born. And I think, I don't know if we did it on purpose or if we were just so smitten with each other that it just worked out that way.
A little bit of both.
Hey, all right. But it's just, you have to put so much effort into raising a child. The reality is you have to put as much, if not more, effort into your relationship to make sure it doesn't go stale while your child is growing up.
Yeah. And it's important for the kids to see a healthy relationship.
Yep.
You know, and it's not all sunshine and roses, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But when an issue comes up or a conflict comes up, they need to be able to see that you can resolve a conflict because they're going to come across a conflict in their own relationships, and they need to know how to resolve it, or at least have some sort of an example.
I agree. Yeah.
But no, I think, you know, if you're already an open nester, you need to really make a concerted effort to reconnect and have a conversation. You need to communicate with each other. If you don't communicate and have a conversation about it, it's not going to just magically fix itself.
No.
You know, and if your kids are approaching high school, they're in high school, you know, sit down and have that conversation. Hey, we're X number of years away from just you and me again.
Yeah, we're less than 5 years away from being able to walk around the house naked. I want to be able to enjoy this time. Let's go. Like, my goodness, I don't want to live alone and walk around naked. I want to see my wife naked too. What the hell? Like, let's go.
And if your kids are younger, just, you know, don't lose that fire.
And I don't think we ever did, because I remember we'd be in the kitchen making dinner and, you know, sneaking smooches, and we didn't realize one of them walked in behind us, and you'd hear him go, "Oh my God, you're making out again." Even though we weren't making out, we were just giving each other butterfly kisses. And then it became obvious that if we heard feet come down the hallway, we'd make it. We'd totally egg them on. So you'd hear, tut, 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 and they'd leave. They didn't even want to deal with it. So that was, to me, that was a perfect way to do it.
That was so funny. Oh,
and now they know there's, you know, if the kids come up, if they got one, they got the other. They'll call my phone first. They call yours immediately after, and they know 99% of the time we're together anyway. My ringer's probably off, or I'm not paying attention.
I think most of them call me first. Because your ringer's never on.
It's never on. I don't want to hear the stupid thing because it'll just chirp all the work crap all the time. So, it's just that it's just that example. They're always watching.
They are.
But I can't stress enough, the relationship has to come first.
Your kids are sponges. They're going to see...
Your kids are going to be in your house for 20-ish years.
Right.
And after 20-ish years, you're still married to this person. So you can't ignore them for 20 years and be like, "Oh yeah, hi, how are you?" Like, I'm your most important person again. No, that doesn't work.
No, because you need to grow together as people. You need to mature together as people, but grow and mature too as parents and as a spouse. You have to grow and mature together in all of those things. And so if you're only focusing on one, or it's
And I mean, I get that you want to put all your energy into your child, but the thing is, if you put all your energy into your child, eventually your spouse is going to be like, "Well, screw you, I don't get any attention at all," and then it gets bitterness, and the division comes, and that's when it all goes to hell, and you see people get divorced after 25 years of marriage because their kids finally moved out. And we've seen it. We have very close friends. That's exactly what happened.
We've been,
multiple.
Yep.
And it's a shame because they're phenomenal people, and I wish they still got along, and I wish they still loved each other, because I'd love to hang out with them as a couple. Just they're not couples anymore.
Yeah, no, and that makes it hard when you become friends with a couple.
And you're friends with both of them.
And then,
and then they split. It's like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
It makes it tough.
It does make it tough.
Mm-hmm.
On the kids and on the friends and everybody else connected to you. I don't think people
Mm-hmm.
really like take that into consideration. So,
yeah,
no. Just talk and communicate. Have that conversation, though. Mm-mm. Is there anything that you would have done differently to prepare for being an open nester?
Done differently. I can't say there's anything I would do differently. I mean, we focused on each other. Yes, we raised the kids, and we had a purpose, and we were strict for a reason. And you know, they're phenomenal. They turned into phenomenal adults.
They have.
I'm not taking all the credit. There's just most of it is their personality. They didn't like it when they were little. They get it now, and they've even said as much. But as far as practicing to become an empty nester, I mean, we had practice. So,
we did kind of have practice.
So anything I would do different? I don't know. How about you?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, we did kind of have that little bit of practice. You know, we knew this was coming, and we planned for it too, because we had said, you know, gosh, we've been saying this for probably more than 10 years. You know, once the youngest graduated, we were moving out of state. You know, had we been able to move out of state with the kids, we would have done it
long time ago.
a very long time ago. But yeah, no, I think, you know, we've been making these plans to move out of state. I mean, granted, we've been holding space here outside of Boston,
in the Boston area,
a little
longer
than we anticipated.
The housing market in southern New Hampshire. Like,
all
you southern New Hampshire people that are selling houses, and if I gotta go see one more dump, I swear to God.
Yeah, but no, I don't really. I really don't think there's anything that I would have done differently.
No, it's funny though. Like, would I have done anything differently? But we've told the kids, you know, you're gonna have opportunities. Don't think Connecticut's the only place for you.
Yes.
Find your opportunities. But then, when our daughter's telling us, oh yeah, you know, in production, I might end up in the Carolinas. I might end up in Texas. Oh, I'm open to. I was like, wait, you gave me grief for the past 3 years because I moved 2 hours away, and now you're gonna be 1,000 miles away.
Plane right away.
Like, wait a second. Like, whoa. And even though we've told you, please go. It's still, now it's one of those. Yeah. Oh, now it's not a 2-hour car ride anymore. Now it's a holy shit. I gotta jump on a plane, or you gotta jump on a. Oof. So yeah, that. I know. Yeah, that's a true empty nest right there. Is they're not close enough to just show up and surprise them.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we did. We told them all. You know, we were planning to move out of state. Don't think Connecticut is going to be the end all be all.
It better not be.
It's
a dump.
You know, go spread your wings, go fly, and now we're like, crap.
Now they're actually flying. You know, we got one who wants to move to the Carolinas or Texas. We got one in the military who wants to be stationed in Hawaii. We got one who wants to be a doctor. He has to go wherever his residency is. It might not even be in this damn country. And we have a boat mechanic, and if he was smart, he'd go move to like
a warmer climate.
Much warmer climate. So I think careful what you wish for, because
I know.
You know, in the next 5 years, we might have 4 kids in 4 different parts of the country if they're all still even in this country.
Oh, that's a strong possibility. Yeah.
Whoops. Done muffed that one up, didn't I? Damn it. Like, ugh. So when they start having grandkids, which still freaks me out that our oldest is older than my dad was when my sister was born. That freaks me out like something awful.
He's almost my age when
you had your first. Yeah. Woof. That's the kind of freaky stuff. So that's the part of empty nesting, I think, that will bother me, is when they're all separated all over the place and they start having their own families, and we only get to see them a couple times a year. Yeah. If they end up all over tarnation.
Right.
That's the emptiness part that I think is gonna beat the crap out of me.
That's gonna be tough.
Because I'm a big baby, and that's gonna bother me.
Family people, yeah.
Yeah. So
we enjoy having the chaos. We enjoy having the loud house, the multiple meals, feeding an army. Yeah.
We'll just have to convince them that my man Pepé get the kids for a month in the summer, and we'll figure it out from there. We'll do that. That'll be fun.
That would be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be a lot of fun, though.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out as we go. But do you have any other thoughts? Any final words? Any advice? Anything at all?
I mean, I think, you know, when it comes down to just the relationship, you really, take a look at where you are. How old are your kids? How far away are you from this open nest? And, if you feel that you and your spouse are not in a great place together as a couple,
figure it out as soon as possible.
You need to have that conversation sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it'll be a shock to the system when it's just
if you just wait and wait,
mm-hmm.
It's going to be a disaster.
You're ignoring,
I think that disaster can be avoided.
Yeah, you're ignoring the inevitable if you don't do something about it.
Correct.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Right.
Yeah,
just have that conversation and be open mm-hmm. about it. I want to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
How can we do that?
Yeah.
And put a plan in place. So
I think so. As far as relationship, I agree with that. But another thing that here's something I would have done different. I would have tried to make friends outside of my kids. Because all of our friends, all of our activities, everything revolved around their sports, their activities, their school. And then when the sports stop, the school stop, their activities stop, we don't see these people anymore.
Right.
And I thought we had great close friends, and now I realize we were just timeline friends. So my advice would be make friends, couple friends, mm-hmm. or even individual friends. Like I'll make guy friends, mm-hmm. make female friends, and we also, mm-hmm. but make sure you have friends outside of your children.
Yeah.
Because when your children leave the house, now all of a sudden you have no kids in the house and you have no friends around because you don't have anything in common.
Yeah, because you still want to be able to go out and mm-hmm. go out to dinner with other couples or.
I mean, it's a moot point because we're in a completely different state now and all our friends are still in Connecticut. Sure. But that was my advice. I even said that a couple of years ago. I was like, oh wow, now that hockey's over, I don't see any of the hockey dads anymore, mm-hmm. and I thought we were tight, and we really weren't. Mm-hmm. So that's the advice to me is to make sure your relationship is strong, but you also have friends outside of your children so that you have other things to do other than stare at each other all day or walk around in your underwear. That's my advice. But
awesome, absolutely. But so thanks for joining us for this week's episode and open nesting. We both open nesting because the door is always open. But have a great one, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.